welcome back to another video. So first things first, I dyed my hair. If you've been following me for any amount of time, then you know that I used to be blonde or maybe like a light brown color, and now I have a sort of almost black brown color. It does look very black on camera, but in person it's definitely more of a very cool dark brown. It feels like it matches my personality a lot more in my aesthetic better than my blonde hair did. Just gonna give you a little close-up on my hair because it really does look black. I swear it's not black. It's very dark brown. But you know what? Even if it was black, it's okay. I have been wanting to dye my hair this color for pretty much since I was in high school, and I think I did once in high school and it looked terrible because I did it at home and went from really blonde hair to black hair essentially without doing the filler color you're supposed to do. So I swore off it for a really long time, but I love my hairstylist and she did such an amazing job. So this is definitely like fits spooky girl vibes, I think. So today's video is going to be all about romanticizing your space, and I am going to focus solely on my office. And if you have been following me for a long time, you know that I actually redid my office completely different than this a year ago. And I had just gotten out of the army and I was just exploring creative freedom for the first time and really just trying to figure out who I was and what I was interested in and allowing myself to express my innermost creative thoughts. And at that time I was really drawn to warm colors, kind of a beachier aesthetic. And as time went on, I realized it really was not for me and I hated it. So I slowly, obviously it's an expensive change to repaint everything. So I did it slowly. I changed the aesthetic to this more cool toned, vintage, moody, kind of witchy aesthetic. But today I want to show you the different little projects that you can do to your space to make it a little bit more magical, give it a little bit more of a like practical magic, witchy, moody sort of vibe. And it's really easy and it's very cost effective, and it's something that I think really elevates my space and it just makes it feel that much more cozy. So the first thing I want to talk about is my inspiration behind my aesthetic. The words that come to mind for me are witchy, moody, vintage, whimsical, a little Parisian, maximalist. My entire family is very maximalist. They have like rooms and rooms filled with books and weird knickknacks and oddities that they found through traveling and living in different countries and locations, and tons of plants and weird collectibles and lots of art. And I think it's very cool and it makes your home feel lived in. It makes it feel worldly and not just trendy. But without getting too far down the rabbit hole, I'm going to go ahead and show you the different things that I've done to my office to make it a little bit more magical. When I think of a magical space, I think of lots of plants and old books and trinkets from all of my travels and unique little finds from thrift stores. And I'm going to show you today my little collection of all of those things and how I use them to decorate my space. This is my little growing bookshelf. I have two huge ones downstairs in our living room full of older books. These are my more recent books that I've been reading. And I love this. I've turned it into a bit of a kind of an altar meets bookshelf. So right here I have all of my little crystals. I have sage. This is super special to me. So the house that I grew up in, that my mom lived in for, I believe, 22 years, and I lived there for like 18 of those 22 years. It burned down a couple years ago in Colorado, and Thank God my mom had moved away like a year before that, but that poor family who didn't. Anyway, she went back and she collected ashes from the house. And I don't know if you can see on the inside, but there's little stones. We used to make little stepping stones when we were kids. And that happened to be like one of the only things that was left behind was our little stepping stones. So my mom took the little pieces of colored glass and ashes and put them in here. We had so many pets buried in our backyard. It was like a little pet cemetery back there. So many special memories. I grew up there. Yeah, so this is really special to me. We went to this bookstore that was all used books, but like vintage old used books. And I found The Observer's Book of British Butterflies, and it's literally just 154 illustrations of butterflies that you can find in England. I thought that was really, really cool. I have no idea how old it is, but you can see, like, just by looking at the book, she has had quite a few lives, I think, so it's very cool. Obviously, I love butterflies. Can you tell? So this was very cool to find. Something I used to be really afraid of doing is mixing patterns and textures and colors. I used to think everything had to match perfectly or basically all one color, and I realized that was really holding me back from the eclectic maximalist look that I wanted. So as you can see here, I just layered tons and tons of colors that give off the same moody aesthetic. This is a colorful stained glass window film. It's a privacy film static cling window cover, and it basically, the purpose is to help keep heat out, but also help kind of give you a little bit more privacy. But in my case, I don't really need either of those things. I just really wanted to have something a little bit more colorful. Oh shit, that was bad. It was surprisingly easy to put up, but I will say with this particular pattern, it's a little challenging to line up all of the little squares. So if you look too close, it doesn't look perfect, but that's okay. That's the whole point, is that it's a DIY, easy little self project you can do that is for your home, and it only has to look good for you. I feel like this also kind of reminds me of like a princess castle or something, like very Renaissance artsy. Like if I was a 6-year-old girl, this would be so perfect for my bedroom. But you know, I'm 31 and this is my office. But I think part of being an adult is realizing that the little child version of yourself had your best interests at heart. So generally what they would like, you probably would like too. I got so many flowers yesterday. I went to Trader Joe's and I just basically bought a bunch of filler flowers. So we have Baby's Breath. This one's called Unicorn Gypsophilia. Your Eryngium. These pink ones are Veronica. So I don't know the name of most of these. I just know the Baby's Breath, which is the white ones. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to dry them. So it's very similar to what I did back in October, if you watched that video, or September, where I dried mums. And these ones are a little bit more spring type flowers. I love using dried flowers as decoration because it just makes my space feel way more moody and magical, and they last so much longer than regular flowers. And I also Unfortunately, because I have cats, they like to eat flowers and plants that I have, so everything I have indoors is hung up. So it's another reason for me to only use dried flowers that I hang upside down, sort of around like the ceiling and then the windows and in those spots. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Yesterday or 2 days ago, Chris helped me hang that up, and it's going to be my official like flower drying rack. I'd love to get more of them and just have them all over the house, but as far as right now, that's a perfect spot for them in my office. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Also, it's so nice outside. It's like beautiful. The birds are chirping. It feels like spring. I know it's only February, but it feels like that fresh air of spring. Like it's like around the corner. I feel it. And it's making me feel very happy. And I have this playlist going. Let me show you. Shout out to my best friend Katie. She sent me this playlist called Celtic Fantasyland, which I will link it below. But if you love just like whimsical, light, mysterious sounding ambient music, my cats are killing each other. This is like the best playlist. I've been listening to it all morning. It's just so peaceful. It's getting me like in a very like nice peaceful headspace, and I can't recommend it enough if that is your cup of tea. But anyway, I'm gonna start drying flowers.